We've got some serious issues today with some unrealized narcissism in this world, and it goes into the dog world and the autism world. The one big thing that I realize with applied behavior analysis is that the entire system is narcissistic to its core. It only seeks to control and manage through manipulation using reward and punishment. And the problem is you get a lot of, especially dog owners. Dog owners tend to use treats and tools, and eventually they'll get to the point where they're taking video, look what I can get my dog to do in the whole 9 years, and they got a prong collar or knee collar on the dog's neck, they're shocking, they're freaking dragging it around, or they're using treats. This is a narcissistic environment. This is pure narcissism, and it's unrealized narcissism. And a lot of the dog owners that I work with finally wake up and they realize just how narcissistic they have been towards their dog. And the dog is a product of that narcissistic environment. Now, on the autism side of things, I read a lot of autistic blogs. People really should sit down and read some autistic blogs because that's where the truth lay. Many autistic people can't lie, and they'll lay their soul out in a blog. And one of the big things that I read is children from narcissistic parents that don't even realize they're a narcissist. But once again, with the system of applied behavior analysis, they're trying to control and manage their child using manipulation tactics of reward and punishment. And a lot of these parents are out there and claim to be special parents. They're focused more so on their own needs, more so than their child. I've met autistic children that are, not adults that are 30 years old, are still not allowed to bathe themselves. They're fully capable, but yet they want mom. Mom needs to wash the balls. There's a problem here, and it's just the parent is almost martyring themselves to the point where they have to do everything for the child, and that shouldn't be. Many of these kids are growing up to be disabled because of their parents, and I'm sorry, but that's just reality. And a lot of these children are suffering. When you read their blogs, they know full well, and they wish that their parents had pushed them more. They're looking at Temple Grandin as an example, and how Temple was pushed to go to school. She was pushed to go to college. She was pushed to go to university. She was always pushed out of her comfort zone. Now, Temple shouldn't be held up as the primary for the entire autism community, but she should be held as an example of what they're capable of. Temple Grandin is extremely intelligent in many ways, and so are the rest of the autism community. And I find one of the big problems is that it's all unrealized intelligence. I've met autistic kids and Asperger kids that were scary intelligent. I've introduced some autistic kids and Asperger kids to the IT world. And once they latch on to something that truly interests them, once you tickle their limbic system in their brain to give them something to do, give them a reason to learn something, step back and get out of their way, give them all the information that they need, and just get out of their way and let them go. That's the whole problem with self-directed learning, and a lot of people don't recognize it. I can't be taught in the average sense of a lot of people, the way, like for going into a classroom and sitting down and being forced to read and learn certain things. I need to be given a reason for it. And most of the autists are the same way. They're all self-directed in the learning. So I didn't do very well in school, in grade school and high school, because I was being forced to learn things, and I couldn't wrap my head around, why am I learning this stuff, because I'll never do it again. I'll never use it again. But the problem is we need to start giving these children a reason to learn. Learning simply teaches you there's more than one way to skin a cat. I hated mathematics in high school. I could do the work, it was easy. But I couldn't figure out why I needed to use it until I met a professor in college. And he said point blank, you know what, it teaches you how to skin a cat. There's more than one way to skin a cat, that's all it does. You'll probably never use it again, but it teaches you how to think. And if somebody had told me that when I was a kid, it would have changed my entire freaking grade school and high school classes. I never had the teachers, for the most part, growing up, that can actually tap into my self-directed learning and give me a reason to learn. Because when you give people like me a reason to learn, that's when everything changes. And I've always believed that every brain is geared to be great at something, but not every brain finds that something. How many people right now are working at a freaking job, knowing full well they're meant for something better, that they're meant for something different, that they're supposed to be great at something, but they can never find that something because they've never been pushed to explore? It's especially prominent in the autism community. A lot of these kids, their brains are geared to be great at something, but they never find that something. Or if they do latch onto that something, a lot of kids are great at musically, a lot of kids are great, artistically, but the parents don't want them doing it because there's no way to make money at it. They want to try to push them into something else that they don't want to do. This is a serious problem today. But people got to step back and ask themselves, are you a narcissist? Because most times people don't even realize that they are a narcissist. Can a narcissist recognize themselves? The answer is no. But if you're trying to control every aspect of your child's life or your wife's or your husband's life, and trying to use reward and punishment, and using any part of yourself as a weapon, that's narcissistic. And let me tell you something, the outcome of a narcissistic environment, a narcissistic relationship is never going to end well. If your dog is the product of a narcissistic relationship, you need to step back and look in the mirror. If your child is the product of a narcissistic relationship, you need to step back and look in the freaking mirror. Because the dog and the child is not the problem. Have a good day.